Sometimes people tell you, you talk truth. But I have to tell you that no, not even one word of my lectures are truth. No one sentence. Because truth cannot be transmitted through words, concepts, ideas. No word, no idea, no concept can contain truth. So not only my words, my sentences are not truth, but the words of all the enlightened beings, masters, holy scriptures, not even one word is truth. In the Hebrew tradition, the word God, and all the religions talk about Brahman, Allah, etc., etc. And we have many words to refer that we refer to the divine. But the word that really express the divine itself is forbidden to mention. So people mention only the letters, Yud K, Vav K. And even the Hey, they say K. And if you analyze it, it's very logical. There is a word to refer to that is beyond all the words and thoughts. So nobody can mention that word. Nobody can mention that word. So in fact, all the words of enlightened beings, masters all over the history, they don't express the truth. They express only their frustration of the limitation of the words. The message of masters is destructive, not constructive. Don't give you something, but it's more like acid that go and make you disappear. As much as you hear the words of a master, you don't feel like you receive new information or your store of knowledge becomes bigger. The experience is that every sentence of the master diminishes you. You become less and less somebody. The concepts and ideas that enlightened beings use are points, are like a direction, are tools. They have no intrinsic value. The ideas and concepts of masters are totally different from the ideas or concepts of philosophers. The concept or idea that an enlightened being can give to the world is a tool, an instrument that should be thrown away. All these Mahavakyas of the Vedanta, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, are tools in order to be used and thrown away. You have so many conclusions, ideas, concepts that are embedded deep in you. No way to take them out. They are like a thorn that is deep embedded in yourself, in your finger. And the best way to take it out is to use another thorn. You take another thorn, you take out the thorn that is in your finger, and then you throw away both of them. There are concepts and ideas that are so deep embedded in your being that you can use a concept that comes from a master. But this concept has no intrinsic value. It's only a tool to take this idea out and then throw away both of them. No concept remains. In this way, you can relate to the message of the Holy Scriptures and the enlightened beings. The text today I want to discuss with you is from the Bible, from the New Testament, from John chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. And whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. John say that whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God. Means giants of the spirit who walk on the planet. Many of them. Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Lao Tzu, Buddha, Muhammad, Shankara, etc., 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 Mahavira, Kabir, Guru Nanak. They was big souls, Mahatmas, not because they had good memory and they memorized many verses from different holy books, not because they know many different techniques of relaxation or meditation, not because they have a lot of information or knowledge, not because a very elevated IQ, not because they have thousands of followers. John was only one of the 12 that Lord Jesus had. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had only 6, etc. No. They was big souls only because their capacity to love. Love is the test. If you want to know if there is advancement in your spiritual life, it's not because you are flexible and you can touch with your head your knees. If you want to know if you advance in spiritual life, you don't need to make an examination of your information about Hebrew or Sanskrit or Pali. If you want to know if you really advance, you only should see your capacity to love. You grow not in years or in centimeters. You grow only in your capacity to love. You are bigger and mature when you are able to love more. That is the test. That is the symptom. Bhakti Yoga is the path of the Vedanta, the path of devotion, the path of love. And usually you will see Bhakti yogis a little different from the attitude of the West. In the West, we are accustomed to the preachers that try to convince us that God exists. The discussion is always about if God exists or not. Believe in God, don't believe in God. If you don't believe in God, you are atheist. But you should believe and accept God and believe in God. Allah is God. No. Allah is not God. Elohim is God. No, Elohim is not God. The Father is God. And when you accept that the God is not Allah, but is the Father, you are Christian, and the job was doing. But if somebody convinces you that Allah is God, okay, so you are Muslim, etc. Bhakti Yoga, you never will see a real Bhakti yogi try to convince you that Shiva is God, or Kali is God, or Durga is God, or Ganesha is God. You should believe in Ganesh. It's not a real Vedantic word, sentence, way of talking. The Bhakti yogi is directed to love and devotion. Instead to convince you that Krishna is God, the direction of the Bhakti yogi is that you can develop devotion for the divine. Krishna prema pradayate, Krishna ya Krishna Chaitanya namne Gaura Tuishana Maha. Lord Chaitanya, he come not to convince anybody that Krishna is the divine. He come to share something else. Krishna prema pradaya, devotion for the divine, love for the divine. The love is the emphasis. Why? Because you can believe in Allah or in the Father, but nothing really happens in you. You continue to live the same. That belief don't make any transformation. Only love transforms you completely. So if you are able to love, you know God. When you look for God, don't look for a person, an entity, a form. Look for love. And that is one of the most confused guides that people receive sometimes. When people come to me and they say, how to be enlightened, how to experience meditation, how to advance in spiritual life, how to know God, how to experience God. And they expect for a technique, for a method, for a book, a retreat, a course, a sadhana, a practice, a spiritual practice. But if you really want to advance in the spiritual path, you should act, relate to it in the same way you relate to love. When somebody come and ask me how to be enlightened, it's the same like somebody come to you and ask you how to fall in love. What you can say? See, I don't think I can fall in love. Of course you can. Everyone can fall in love. Yes, but how? Give me the method, the technique. Happens sometimes that you have a sister and there is a good friend or a friend and you want to meet them, and they meet and maybe they can be couple. You think they are good people, and then you make the situation that invite them that they can meet one the other. How you can make that they fall in love? There is a method, a technique. There is no method that you can be sure that if they come and you put candles and you put music of violin, for sure they will fall in love. There is not such a thing, and that is the beauty of love. But these things are necessary, are needed. These things are needed. The situation is needed, but nothing can ensure that for sure love will happen. Love is free. So wait a moment. I can practice your method for enlightenment and say the mantra and pray every day and read what you tell me and study and dress like this, and maybe nothing will happen. Maybe I will waste my time. Looking after the divine, like looking after love, searching for love, is never a waste of time. If you sit with a person in a beautiful restaurant in the evening, nice music, everything romantic, but you see the other one stand in the table and say, wait a moment, if we don't fall in love, we waste our time here. What will be the result? You close any possibility that something can happen. No. I don't want to waste my life or my time with you. My time is important. I can do other things. If you don't fall in love with me, tell me. At least I can decide something else. Maybe now I can see TV. There is a good game. And I want to see it instead of sitting with you, that maybe nothing will happen. Same thing, there are people who think in that logic. Wait a moment, I waste my time, meditate, relaxation, hatha yoga, and if nothing happens, maybe better to do something else. I can leave, I still reconsider. You close any opportunity to it. Or think about those people who claim we have the technique is to repeat this mantra, Charunga, Sharunga, 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 40 times a day, and for sure you arise love. It's like somebody else say, see, my grandfather met a girl in the street. His notebooks fall, and at the moment she want to help, he look at her eyes. She was my grandmother. They become, and the other, I have the technique. That is the infallible technique. And then he began to even preach it. And then you see hundreds of people in the street go with the notebook and they fall, look at your eyes. And what they meet is somebody say, what is cuckoo? What you look at me? I know you from somewhere. What is the point? And why years and years and this doesn't work? Because, yeah, it can be a nice moment, but and the techniques and the methods are only ways to create certain situation. But there is no warranty that this will work. Even more mysterious and confused than that. When you hear that this enlightened being, this person, the enlightened of Buddha was under a tree in silence. And the enlightened of Chaitanya was dancing. So you say, wait a moment. You see all the followers of Chaitanya dancing, and you see all the followers of Buddha sitting in silence. You see which one I need to choose. And when you hear that love can happen to you even without techniques. Sometimes you fall in love and still you didn't pay attention to it. Sometimes you have a friend and sit in the same place and study together. And one day you begin to discover that is a long time that you fall in love with the person and you was not aware. Love is mysterious. The divine is mysterious. Maybe you look for him and maybe already happens to you. And maybe all these concepts and words and lectures point in something that is the most obvious, the reality of this moment. John said, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. God is love. He doesn't say that love is a quality of God or no. God, what you want to realize, what you pray to it, what you is love. In which way? Love is not somebody who come and say, hello, love, how are you, love, or you can talk to him. So when somebody say, show me God, it's like somebody say, show me love. Well, I cannot show you love, but love exists. Yeah, exists. Everybody knows love exists. So can you show me love? See, love is a kind of experience. Love, in order to meet love needs to happen in you. Love is more like a virus that should happen, or it's not somebody in front of you. Love cannot be shown, cannot be taught. Love can be transmitted. Love can be passed from one to other as an infection. You can be infected by love. God is love in the sense that, what is this experience of love? This experience of love is togetherness. You know many people, but when you love somebody, that somebody, you feel him or her very near to you than others. And as much as you love, the other is more near to you. And if you really, really love, you lose the limits between you and the other, the frontier between you and the other. And in some moment, you forget, you cannot really see where you end and the other begin. Love is like two that live like one being in two bodies. In that sense, love is a non-dual experience. It's an advaitic experience. There is a moment that there is no other. You are happy with the happiness of the other. You are sad with the sadness of the other. You vibrate with the other. You are totally in tune. There is a communion between two. The one looks like many. And every single entity forget the unity, forget the oneness, forget your real nature, forget awareness. Forgetfulness is the disease of this world of names and forms. And you don't remember nothing about what you really are, except love. Love is the only aspect of your real nature that is so strong and so deep that even as a separate entity, as an ego, as you continue to look for an experience that is almost totally forget of unity with the other, where you feel that the other complete you. Enlightenment is a romance with the divine, in the sense that you don't feel only that the other complete you and the other is one with you. You are one with everything. Every single tree is very dear, is one with you. Every single star, every flower, every entity, every dog, every cat, every bird, the wind, the ocean, people are the beloved. Is an unity, is to feel the unity, is to experience the one, and that is love. Awareness, awaken, is to awaken to love. God is that experience. God is love.